In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how
The
to
fuck?
identify and trades.
Let me make this a dotted line. Yo, welcome, my man. I am doing good. How are you? How are you? How are you? Wait, did I make a new one? This one needs to go. This one needs to change. Right. Liquidity. Doing great. Nice, man. Good to hear. I haven't heard from you in a while, man. How are you doing? How's the trading going for you? Yo, Kai. Welcome, my man. Still on the demo, you know. Okay. And is it been going good? Or you have you reached a certain target you wanted to reach within a certain period of time? Because right now my plays are playing out good. The one in the group chat. Not yet. Okay. Patience is key, man. Patience is key. Trust me. Like I just love this strategy, man. I've been day trading for quite some time now. And there were some strategies that I found interesting. For example, the 15-minute orb strategy, the some EMA strategies, Asia sweep strategy, like all those things does not compare to this one. Like this is just 1% of 4-hour charts takes time, but my work wouldn't allow me to day trade. I wouldn't get time for the scream. Okay, yeah, that's like same thing. I'm still in school and such, so my thing is I swing trade as because when I get home from school, I just look at the markets. I put alerts for the next day. Even if I'm in class, I can still get in the trade, wait for confluences. So that's the thing. And right now I'm back from school, so I was just gonna go live for the people who had questions or needed help with anything. You know, like look at this. I'll just explain USD CAD, right? So far, the dollar index, which is purely the dollar, this shows the strength on the dollar, has been going down for quite some time right now, right? How long ago was this? Like this is a year, right? It's been going down since a year. This is like Trump doing some weird stuff. Well, if we're gonna look, we have this overall push in towards the downside and broke market structure, right? That's step one. That's the thing we always got to look for. Break of structure. This is the first thing we're going to look at, right? On the 4-hour, that's going to be the same exact thing. What do we see? We had this supply zone, which we wanted to use for some kind of resistance. And yes, we did get some kind of sideways price action inside of it. But that isn't clear enough. For me, what we are going to be looking at is liquidity inside of this move. inside of this range. Let's look on the daily. Do we have any liquidity on the daily here? Yes, we do. We have this upright candle. Now we're going to drop down to the 4-hour time frame. Now we're going to just look at some other things here. Let's open the opens. There we go. We are 3-month and our yearly open as well. So we are looking higher on the dollar index for now, right? For this week, for next week maybe. So we are looking to target higher. We are getting some price action where we're seeing momentum die off, right? When you get like the how do you say it, ascending flag pattern. You can see this could be a pull of a flag and then ascending, right? So the thing is we are now trying to break out of a range. So this is range price action. This is sideways consolidation. What we're going to see is we are going to see these relative equal highs bumped out to then reverse. What? Okay, so how are we going to look at this on USD CAD? USD CAD is basically the exact same chart, right? If we're going to look at the dollar index, USD CAD, the dollar index, USD CAD, right? These are basically the same. So what we're looking at on the dollar, we want to see on USD CAD. What we want to see on USD CAD, we want to see on the dollar. So what do we see? Here, we have a demand zone. This demand zone gets respected, right? We take liquidity, we move lower, and we create a overall supply zone. Meaning, if price wanted to push indeed even lower, we wanted to see this low being lower than this low, but we didn't, right? We saw people jump in here, in this demand zone, right? This is where buyers were. So now we are getting that same sideways price action as well, right? We have trendline liquidity, this low, this low, this low, this low. So we are ascending, meaning people put their stop losses here, meaning that's going to be our target for, let's say, next week or so. But on the daily, what do we see? Break of structure. Do we have liquidity on the daily? Red candle, red candle, red candle, green candle with a big wick, meaning this is going to be liquidity for us. If we're going to look on the 4-hour, we are going to see that that is a major bump, right? All of these are just small. This one is relatively big as well, but this one is just consecutive green candles, meaning that this is going to be my target until proven otherwise. So, for example, let's go on the 4-hour again. This is going to be our range. So this is our high, and this is our low. So in here, this is where we are going to trade. Preferably, if we grab our 0.5 fib tool, this is going to show us where do we look for buys and when do we look for sells. You can see price went into the 0.5, right? Price went into the upper half, meaning if we're in the upper half, we want to sell. If we're in the lower half, we want to buy. Meaning, if we go into the upper half, we want to sell, which happened here, right? Let's say you just go for a 2R. This is going to be a market structure break, so you just enter on this low, stops here. This is going to be 2R. Your price did not hit TP, right? Okay, you could have went stop loss to break even once you tapped inside of this demand zone. The dollar is not showing us anything. Like, Trump needs to speak. We got CPI month over month, core CPI month over month, which is going to be released this week. But you can clearly see once we got a reaction from this demand zone, you can see this demand zone is getting held up, right? These consecutive down close candles act as support. Let's drop in the lower time frame, and what are we most likely going to see is liquidity to be taken. Here, let's look on the 15 minutes maybe. We can, this right here, was liquidity for the market, which was enough, right? What do we see here? This single red candlestick in this whole leg got tapped. What did price do? Price did not come back towards this low, right? So what are we going to look at? We're going to see, okay, price took out liquidity and we broke structure here. So this is going to be a break of structure. This is internally, right? This is our external break of structure. And this is our internal break of structure, right? We take a low, high, low, high, low, higher, high. So meaning this is a change of character. Now, what are we going to see? We are going to see price create this as a demand zone. The consecutive down close candles that put in this low is this, right? This is the lowest low within this range. So this low is not lower than this low, so we're going to use this low. And these are the consecutive down close candles that we're going to be using. What do we see? We're going to mark out this is our demand zone. And what do we, on the 15th it's going to be much clearer. We put in a high. We put in a low, right? Jesus. We take out this low. We move higher. But it isn't liquidity inside of this leg. This is liquidity inside of this leg. So what we're going to see is we're going to grab that fib extension. We're going to drag it out to the top again. Until price has come towards the 0.5 fib, in the overall in here, I'm going to be looking for sells. Because we want to sell towards the 0.5 fib. Once we tap it, that's when we can look for buys. So what we're going to do, again, on the 1 hour, we're going to see, okay, we got sideways price action, sideways, 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 and we take out the bottom of that sideways price action. You probably have heard of accumulation, manipulation, distribution. That's the same thing that happens here, right? We accumulate, we actually manipulate this low. Where's liquidity? Here. We actually manipulate this low, and we get a lower time frame change of character. This is a 15-minute demand zone. What can we see price do? Tap into it. We take out all of this liquidity, and we move higher. Right? That's how you go from time frame to time frame. On the 4 hour, you're gonna look on the 1 hour. You're gonna look on a 4 hour. You're gonna look on a 15-minute. It works every single fucking time. It's fucking beautiful. The down close candles are used as support. Okay, we grab these down close candles. Down close candles put in this low. So we're gonna see, once price taps this here, this demand zone, we can look for buys. And what we also see is price comes back in towards that 0.5 fib. What can we also see? We have small trend line liquidity. What do we again see? Price comes and takes out this low. We don't come near this low, actually. No, we don't. So we get a nice bullish reaction from it. Same thing happens here again, right? If we're going to look on the 15-minute, we can see this overall change of character. Look at this overall demand zone, right? What do we see? Price comes back in towards it, taking out the 15-minute liquidity here, and we move higher again. So USD right now is actually one of the cleanest lower time frame trends that is being established. Ignore the sideways price action. So for me, I'm in a long on USD. Do you guys have questions? Same thing on CHF JPY. Break of structure in towards the downside. We grab our fib extension tool from the low to the high, from left to right, and we can see we were shorting inside of the high. Once we tapped inside of the lower range, right, this one here, we again started looking for buys. We took out the last liquidity inside of this overall leg. This one is way too far off. We took out this last liquidity. These were equal lows as well, meaning more liquidity for us. And now we are seeing displacement in towards the upside. and we see demand in form of a consolidation being held up, right? In the lower time frame, this is trend line liquidity, which from my position right now, I wouldn't love to see it to be taken, but for a new entry, check on NAS 100. Yeah, you can. Oh, the scas. But on the Nasdaq, the 4 hour is gonna be okay. Let's take fractal. Let's take just fractal. So we got a break of structure. We got a high. We got a low. So let's take just this range, for example. Like this is just forward testing, back testing when I already seen price action. But still, I can explain it why it worked. Okay, so overall, this is my break of structure on the lower time frame. So we have this move, we have this move, we have this move, we have this move, we have this move. So this move is this move, right? We have this, we have this, we have this, we have this. So let me mark out this with the break of structure as well. Okay, so right now we can see that we are in a range. We create this high, we create this low. Okay, 1 hour time frame. What do we see? We have small trend line liquidity, right? Only two highs, which is still fine. We're gonna grab our fib extension tool. Boom. So let's just say we only have this, right? We're not seeing this yet. What we're gonna do is we're gonna wait for one of these highs to be taken. Right now, you can see the high got taken. We got an initial reaction. You can see same thing here. This high got taken, initial reaction. You can see here, this high did not get taken, but we do get an initial reaction. So we broke market structure with this low. So this low needs to be broken in order for us to say, this is where we can short. So what I would do is I would place a sell stop with my stops above this high. Why not this high? Because this high could again be used as liquidity. You always need to put your your stop loss at high resistant liquidity, and I just target a 2R. And if we're gonna look here, same thing. Price is consolidating right now, still looking lower, as we still have this low open. We took out this low. Hello, Maddox. Hello, my friend. So you can see same thing here. You just do the exact same. On the 4 hour, look for break of structure. What happens here? This is not a valid break of structure for me because that's just a too small of a range. So here you can see in like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles. That gives us that pullback. And here we can just see 1, 2 candles, right? So this is not valid for me. What we're going to do, high to the low. You can see we have liquidity here. Let's look on the lower time frame. We have this little pump here as well. We're just going to wait for price to give us, even though we marked out that small liquidity here, we still want to see that change of character on the 4 hour. How do we see that? We create a high, a low, high, low, high. Here we get an initial small change of character. What trades are you in? I am in CHF, JPY, and USD CAD. I'll show you them in a bit, but I'm just last 2 seconds. I'm explaining the Nasdaq. Like you can see here, that initial change of character, which happens overall here, right? This candlestick was broken with this. So this should have held price lower, but we actually came in to take out this low one more time to then give us that push lower, right? So this bullish candle got broken. And if we're going to look on the 15 minute, I bet we can find another same thing here. Is this the 4 hour? This is the 4 hour, the one that I was talking about, yes. Then on the 1 hour, let's see on the 1 hour, do you have any liquidity? We do have this one here. So once price broke our order flow, you can see these bearish candles are holding, and once a bearish candle stops holding, that's when you want to enter. But make sure to not place your stop loss at a liquidity high that's just been made, because you want to enter on the high that broke market structure initially, that swept liquidity, making high resistance liquidity. Okay, let me show you that CHF and JP and CAT USD. No, USD CAT. 4 hour, you can see we are breaking highs, right? So prior, we marked this break of structure, and we actually had a lot of liquidity that was being built up, right? We have liquidity down here, we have liquidity down here, we have liquidity down here, liquidity here, and liquidity here. This is too far. Price is not going to reach that. If price reaches that, the highness, the likeliness that price is just going to run to this low is going to be relatively high. Now, we took out these points of liquidity. Let me just mark them. These are equal lows. Look at this, right? These are equal lows, which is just a huge thing for price. What can we see now? We can see that we had inside of our fractal system, right? We can see that we are creating higher highs, higher lows, and then we broke structure, changing character here, meaning this was the overall supply zone that was going to need to push price lower, which it did. Then we created another bullish candle, which should have held price lower, which we did here. Same thing. This candle pushed price lower, not enough to break this low. So that's when I noticed, okay, we are getting some buying strength. Now you can see sideways price action builds liquidity. But in this case, it was just a breakout. We did not get a sweep from the bottom. We just went for a huge run in towards the highs. Now, if we're gonna see, this high should have need to be broken in order for us to say, okay, there's a change of character going on, right? So, because we had this move, this move, this move, a lot of sideways price action, and then now we're seeing this. This was the last break of structure, so this is going to be that change of character. That's the thing that happened here. This was that change of character that we needed in order for price to say, I'm interested in looking for the upside. Why was this, or is this still an A+ setup? Let me just remove these things. Step one, we have a clear break of structure in towards the upside. Clearly, this is not choppy price action. This is clear uptrend. Second of all, we have all of these tech lows. For the thing you are seeing right now, this is equal lows. Equal lows, everybody knows it in trading, is a huge form of liquidity. What do we see? Bullish price action holds until it doesn't. Here we get that latest high that was being put into the market, which broke. So meaning these down close candles are gonna be used as a overall demand zone. We also tapped the 3-month and the yearly, which is amazing. So we're gonna grab the body off of this and mark it as a demand zone. Now, on the 4-hour, everything is checked off. We have our demand zone, we have our change of character, we have our entry. On the lower time frame, we can see, okay, this is that change of character. We're going to drop down to the 1 hour. And then on the 1 hour, we can do the exact same thing. But as I said, on the 1 hour. So you can still see we are breaking structure in towards the lows. Break of structure. And I ideally want to see these lows get ran through to then look for that change of character on the 1 hour. To then enter maybe put your long here. Don't put your stop here because this could still be used as liquidity, but at an overall low that was being created. And then put your TP here, or you can just target the overall market structure, as we are still looking for this high to be taken. Of course, this is now a 3R. I entered at a 2R. So I'm exactly inside of this position. I'm targeting exactly a 2R. So I am in drawdown right now, but I actually don't care. Right? Drawdown is healthy. We still want to see price lower. And I'm not going to just close my position because I know that there's going to be drawdown. I know that there's more drawdown. I'm going to know, okay, once we take out these lows, I can then look for further continuation in towards the upside. So CHF JPY, looking for these lows to be taken. Boom, boom, looking for more upside. USD CAD can just run for me, which it is doing. As I explained, why did I enter? Same thing. Here, going from the 4 hour to the 1 hour, we have a 4 hour put in this low. We broke that this high that put in those consecutive down close candles. We put in this here, liquidity. We swept liquidity here, and we can see, okay, once we swept that liquidity, we had a break of structure. Break of structure, meaning these consecutive down close candles are going to hold price. And what are we seeing? Let's mark it out. Demand zone. Let's look on the 15-minute. Now, what are you guys going to see? You're going to see liquidity being taken. You have this change of character, right? We have a high, low, high, low, high, low. Here we had a change of character. And this was a down close candle that put in this low. Meaning, if we are going to look for more upside, this down close candle should be held as a demand zone on the 15-minute until we reach this high. Do you guys understand it? And then now on the 5-minute, you can see we have trendline liquidity, which is a bit sketchy, but still fine. As long as we are in the higher time frame, we're still bullish. And then I am targeting this high as it is the one inside of our premium. And what do we want to do? We sell from premium, we buy from discount. Do you guys have any questions? I'm just going to look at crypto in a bit, because I think we're just going to get choppy price action. Yeah. Maddox at Solana. It seems when you discover how to use liquidity, the door success open. It is. Liquidity is very, very, very good. Yeah. Yeah. For Solana, we're seeing just pure sideways price action. We put in a low, put in a high, we take the high. We're now probably gonna look for more downside, as you can see the instant reaction from these equal highs that got taken. But crypto as well, Maddox, if you're still watching, you can still see price reacting from these support zones. The thing I forgot to mention for you, as we are still... No, I mentioned it. I mentioned it. We are still bearish overall. Clearly. But it was a good trade that you took. It was just bad timing. Yeah, you did say that. Yeah, it was just bad timing. Like your friend, I'm proud of you that you actually you caught the trade. Like it was a good trade. You can see clear demand zone over here. We put in a high, we put in a low, and my fault that I said to you is we do have these stacked highs. Price ran through these highs, had an instant reaction back. We failed to indeed make this low. But what do we create when we fail to break a low? We create trendline liquidity. And what do we do here? We take out that liquidity. Our target was this high, which could, like, it our target was that high. We couldn't have known that this was enough for us to move the market, and that's why I feel good when losing a trade, because I still followed everything and every step, and right. So that was a good trade. It was just bad timing. 79 for Sol. I did set a limit order here to buy a bunch of Sol. Like, if this low gets ran through, I'm buying a lot of Sol. Yeah, I think it was good also. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Yeah, it does. And, like, I'm saying, we just got stuck in sideways price action. But still, in sideways price action, it still holds, right? You have these consecutive upward candles that swept liquidity. Price tapped it in. We swept these relative equal highs. We pushed lower. Same thing happened here. Yeah, bro. Maddox. Oh, that was stupid. We could have just entered short. Why didn't I mention it? Oh, I feel bad. Trump Talk is tomorrow, right? Let me just look for you. It's on Wednesday. The thing is, I love to use this website. It's created by the person who owns this strategy. I'm not saying I'm gonna claim the strat. It's called Fabio, and he made this website. Because if you're swing trading, you wanna. But is your Wednesday my Tuesday? Shit. Oh, that's. Yeah, that's true. Probably, yeah. Wait, what day is it for you now? Hey, no, wait. Huh? I'm confused. So this website, Forex Fundamentals, it's $400 a month. It isn't cheap. You can look at bears, and it indicates for you if they're bullish or bearish, considering the news that is being. It's Monday morning. Okay, yeah, that's probably gonna be Tuesday for you. Right, you can clearly see bearish right now. Euro USD is bearish, but on the verge of going bullish. And if we're gonna look at the fundamental, the technical for Euro USD, we can see indeed we are bearish, but we want to see bullish price action. Like, we are on the verge of flipping to bullish. So if this aligns with the buys that you are wanting on the higher time frame, it's very good. If we're gonna look at the CHF JPY, CHF, and then JPY. Oh, because right now I'm in a long for CHF JPY, and let's look if our implied bias is bullish. Indeed it is, and well bullish. You can see the CHF is really bullish against the JPY. The JPY is still looking for more downside, as it's a very weak currency. You can see it is going down a bit. We need some more news in order for us to push higher. If we're going to look at the USD CAD, USD, CAD, and USD, should be bullish again. Yeah, bullish as well. We're just climbing bullish, 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 and we are slowly going in towards the downside on the fundamental part. And if we're going to look at USD CAD, we are still looking for indeed bullishness until this high gets taken. And once this high gets taken, we are most likely going to see this score being lowered, lower, 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 until the implied bias is bearish, and the news is going to be bearish for the dollar, bearish for the euro, bearish for. So President Trump speaks. Let's see if the calendar. We are gonna see Tuesday, Wednesday. It isn't shown here. But we do have a lot of fucking things. Is it showed here? No, it isn't. But this is honestly the best website for swing traders. The best website. If we're gonna look at the dollar, we don't have anything. For the Canadian dollar, we have plus 18, meaning there was some bullish news for the Canadian dollar. Risk sentiment is just how much risk people are putting up against multiple currencies. But this is my favorite thing. Do you use COT data as well? Check GBP and CAD. For Kai, do you mean on Forex fundamentals? And Omar, what the fuck is COT data? I haven't heard of it. GBP CAD, GBP CAD. Okay, so on the GBP, we are most likely bearish. You can see recent news and articles for GBP CAD. For the GBP, bearish for the GBP bearish. So only bearish GBP articles. And if we're gonna look at the technical part, so GBP CAD is this one here, only bearish articles. So right now, we are looking indeed for the overall market structure to pull us in towards one of these highs, to then indeed follow the implied bias, which is bearish. And the score is just the strength between the currencies. If it's 0, then there's most likely going to be sideways price action. Right. Yes, indeed. Let's look at some other pairs. The CHF JPY. Yeah, it's moving the way I want it to move. Ideally. And then USD CAD is also running in the way that I intended. Because the liquidity that I wanted to see get taken out got taken out. And then CHF, I still want to see this liquidity being taken out so I'm gonna enter another position once we tap these lows and give us a valid bullish change of character. And of course, I'm gonna put this in the GC for people still to follow. And then these things, Guy, I don't know if you understand it, but the Bitcoin, in order to correlate, is the Ethereum, Euro, GBP, DXY, USD CAD, ES, and NQ. And for the dollar index, still looking for higher prices as well. Do you guys have any more questions, or a pair you want me to look at, or a crypto and indices, a resource? Let me disable this thing. No. Let me enable my clips are on. Okay. Do you guys got any more questions or anything? Like even on the dollar, it still works, right? You can see a clear break of structure. Got a couple of candles towards the downside. This is going to hold price low, higher. We're going to look on the 1 hour. You can see that we took. What's DXY is a dollar index. It's just the dollar. It's a stock. You can see we take out this last liquidity, and we actually get a move in towards the high. It's just the dollar. If you wanna, you can also trade the euro, I think, by itself. It's not a correlated asset then. You're just gonna be trading it normally. But I wanna see the official. I don't think I have the subscription for it. Yeah, I don't. Do you trade NQ? I do sometimes, yes. Not every single day. I'm not a New York open trader and look for the sweep, look for IFG. I'm a purely swing trading. My thesis on gold was also correct. I sent it in the group chat. I was waiting for a liquidity sweep to then give us a higher price. People are saying, I came across the TikTok and people were saying, I'm gonna see gold at the 3,000, but bro, gold is too bullish to reach 3,000. What do you think of US30? US30 is good. It's also a correlated asset between the NQ and the ES. Proper own capital. I do both, but mostly prop firms. Does swing trading work on gold? Yeah, it works on everything. Swing trading works on every fucking thing. So US30, same thing. You have NQ and ES, and US30 is Dow Jones, so it's another smaller correlated thing towards the NQ and the ES. But of course, sideways price action, same thing. Let's see if we can actually get something out of it. We got a overall low here being created. We are at all-time highs, right? Yeah, we are. So what we're gonna see, same thing here. Overall high. Jesus Christ. Overall high. What we're gonna see is we're gonna grab our Fibonacci tool from here to here. We can see, okay, we have this liquidity. We have this liquidity. I don't want to see price come towards this liquidity as that's way too close towards my overall low. So this is going to be my target to then look for a switch on bullishness. Why this target? Because we also have that monthly open here. And a monthly open is just going to act as a normal form of resistance support. You can see here, we tap that monthly open and we move higher. So I'm also looking for this same here. And on the 1 hour, this is just small trend line liquidity, which is also a very good target. What else, guys? What else? Ask me your questions. USD Jeep. What do you consider a go? Wait. For GBP USD, same thing as well. Didn't send it right. Just type it correct. AUD USD, if we're going to look on the fundamental part, AUD is very bullish against the dollar. Okay, there were some bullish. Oh yeah, those 15% taxes. Those were implemented. That's why we have sideways price action. You can see sideways price action equals to a close to zero score. Crazy, huh? We actually have sideways price action here. We took out the high. We now want to see this low get broken in order for us to target this low, in order for us to target again this high. Maddox, send your thing, man. To this day, I still don't understand how people read the footprint chart. What is it? What do you mean with the footprint chart? What do you mean by that? The fuck is the difference between that? It shows numbers on the candle. The fuck? Let me look at it. Ah, yeah, this one. Yeah, it's just volume. It shows it like that's scalping until you can't anymore. It's like 15-second candles to know whether buyers or sellers are in control over a certain period of time. They use it most of the time with the volume profile. Yeah, featuring volume. This one. Let's see. Let's drag it. I know how these nodes work and such, but it's so fucking weird. Let's look for USD CAD. Let's look for USD CAD. See on the 15 minutes. I want to see this high get broken. Do volume profiles work? Yes, they do, but those are pretty hard to actually learn. Because there's no one on YouTube that actually knows how to explain it properly. I've seen some couple of videos, but Jesus fuck. People suck at discussing it. Looking at some other positions on my phone. Because Vic was talking about them too. Yeah, but those are pretty hard. People use it on the Nasdaq most of the time. Because if we're gonna, let's say we take the overnight session, which is fun. Whoa. Take the overnight session from here till 9:30. I know some people use it like this. Bruh. Why is it not? It's not opening. Year. What do you mean year? Oh, now it works. Okay, so let's take the overnight session, for example, till 9:30. So the thing is with the volume profile, you have these things called nodes. You have the point of control, area of control, and then you have these two lines as well. Above these lines you want to sell, between these lines you don't do anything, and underneath these lines you want to buy. And then how much are you up so far this year? I'm gonna have to calculate that, man. I'm not sure. I think 12 or 11 maybe. So these empty spaces is what you want to be trading on this volume profile. Like you can see once price taps these things, you can see a almost empty volume profile. You tap it, you get a reaction, and then people trade it on the 15-minute, the 15-second strategy thingy time frame, and then yeah, it is hard. It is hard. I love the fact how some people actually just say, "Oh yeah, we have some support here," and they just long on those support things. They don't even wait for confirmation. All right, see you. Thanks, yeah, I'm off to school. All right, man. Good luck. Good luck, my friend. Yeah, this is the USD CAD trade that I shared here. And you can see my entry was on that liquidity low. And if we're going to look at that USD CAD, the liquidity was enough for price. Oh. I'm tired, man. Bro, I just got my steering wheel from Logitech and I got the pedals out. Bro, this thing was inside of it. It was this is my brake. When you stomp the brake, you would just push against this thing. And you wouldn't be able to press your brake fully. Which was dog shit. I think we're now seeing USD CAD probably being consolidated as well. We're seeing some trend line liquidity being built up, which is not my favorite thing to see, but it is very good to see once we break out of this range and we move higher, then this is going to be a valid area for us to target. So now, right now we are getting that squeezing pattern until we actually get a valid breakout. But I don't love to see it at the end of a session because the breakout will not be very big once it does happen. Do you guys got any more questions? Or are you struggling with something? What's your view on GBP USD? Down. That's the only thing I'm gonna say. We're gonna go lower. Yeah, we're gonna go lower. Not a bunch though. We're not gonna move a bunch. You can see here, I marked out the different zones here. We got a impulse, pullback, impulse, pullback, and now we have our overall low here. So this is on the higher time frame. Overall low. Overall high. This needs to be supply. Overall high. What do we see? Okay, we did trace in towards the area of discount, but we still have open liquidity. We have these equal lows down here. So I would love to see these two get taken. And if we're going to look on the daily, you can see this is the only bearish candlestick as well. So for now, as this was that break of structure, break of structure, we still have this high of liquidity. With this high of liquidity, we still want to see price reach higher. Why? Because we want to sell from premium. Once we take out this high and we tap into that supply zone, I'm looking for a short towards this low to then look for a long back towards all of the trend line liquidity. All of it. For example, boom. That's my view on GU. Anything else? I know some people are leaving, which is fine. I'm tired as fuck. Tired. Omar, I think you are the only one in the stream. Do you have any more questions? Otherwise, I think I'm gonna take a nap because my eyes are falling. What's your Discord? I have my user or my trading room, because the trading room is gonna open once we reach shit. Disable. I'll send my username. Taking up, bro. Really appreciate your time. Of course, man. Let me just send it to you. That's my Discord. Add me, and once you add me, I think I'm gonna go off. Yes, I added you, my friend. Is that a C63? Or am I wrong? Yes, very, very nice car. Okay. All right, guys. Martop, if you have questions, just ask me. I see you're also in the TTA Discord, so right, guys. I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.